Today we are taking a break from photo, video, tutorial kind of thing, and we're gonna look at the Apple HomePod Mini. It just came in the mail today. I'm super stoked to unbox it, to get it set up, and then go through a few of the features because I think this might be the version that finally gets us to switch to the HomePod as our home smart speaker. We started with the Amazon Alexa way back in the day, then we moved to the Google Nest because we like some of the smart home functionality better, but there's a few features on the Apple HomePod in particular that I think might finally get me to make the switch. We're gonna find out today. If you are also thinking about the Apple HomePod Mini and you like this video, hit the like button below. Super helpful for me. Also think about subscribing, lots of photo, video, tech videos on this channel. And yeah, let's get this thing open. Oh, the pull tab goes all the way around the box. Check. Oh yeah, check that out. The box itself opens in half, and there it is. There's the Apple HomePod Mini. It's actually a little bit smaller than I thought. I thought it was gonna be a little bit bigger. It actually looks like it's about the size as a Echo Dot or Google Nest Mini. And we're back to those the suction boxes from Apple. Oh, shoot. And there it is. There is the HomePod Mini. It's not really in there very well. It was just kind of sitting on there. There's no way to yeah. All right, and here is the actual HomePod Mini. Very similar to pretty much all the smart speakers out there that kind of have that fabric texture along the outside. The HomePod Mini has a flat screen on the front. It has some backlighting and some touch controls. I guess it's not really a screen, but it does light up a little bit and give you some feedback there. The cord is a braided cord, which is interesting. USB-C, but something I can already see that I'm kind of bummed about. The cord on here that is USB-C, good, decent length, but it's wired into the device. So this does not come out of the HomePod side. Normally on a lot of other devices, the cord is USB-C into the product and then USB-C into the power brick, which means that if something happens to this cord, you just replace the cord and you're good to go. On the HomePod Mini, I don't think that's user replaceable at all. So that means that if something happens to your cord or your adapter or this was bent funny for a year and then that frays out, I don't know what the solution is to replace the cord on here. All right, as for what else is in the box here, oh, we have a power brick. That's super nice. Again though, it's not a 90-degree power brick. So the USB-C port on the power brick is on the outside, so you plug it into the wall this way, and now it sticks out this way, which means that if it's plugged in like so, even if it's bent, we're looking at like this much space that you would need to have behind a bookshelf or a cabinet or something like that to be able to fit this back there. And because in our living room we have our smart speaker behind a bookshelf, probably one of my first purchases is going to be a power brick that has a 90-degree port on it. Basically just so I can plug this in, and then I can plug this in this way and save some space this way. And then other things in the box, just a quick start guide, and that's it. Oh, and an Apple sticker. You always get an Apple sticker. That's nice. So there's 4 ways that Apple's been marketing the HomePod Mini. Number 1 is 360-degree sound. They say it sounds amazing. Number 2 is Siri. Siri is built into the device, which means that this is gonna work with all of your other Apple devices, kind of the whole ecosystem thing. Number 3 is that it can work with your smart devices, and number 4 is privacy. Apple's really been on the privacy horse lately, really been driving it home that Google and Amazon are not protecting your privacy and that Apple will protect your privacy. So first up, let's get this thing plugged in, set up, and we'll see how it sounds. All right, we got that plugged in. Now the instructions for setup is connect to Wi-Fi and turn on Bluetooth on your iPhone or iPad with the latest software. Number 2, hold your device near the HomePod Mini, then complete the on-screen. There's the startup chime. And number 3, all done. To get started, simply say, hey, oh, I won't say it. All right, so for our setup, I just bring my phone near. There it is. This is kind of where that whole ecosystem thing happens. The phone in your pocket works really shockingly seamlessly with the things that you're playing with. Really similar to how the AirPods Pro pop up. So we'll hit setup here. What room is the HomePod in? We'll put it in our living room. Personal requests. So this is so that I can actually ask Siri certain things, and then Morgan can ask Siri certain things, and she'll respond to each of us individually because she can tell the difference between me and Morgan. So we'll say use personal requests, Siri for everyone. This allows everyone in the house to be able to use it. Center the HomePod in the frame. Like the whole thing? How did that work? What? It asked me to center the HomePod in the frame. It used my camera to look at the HomePod, but how can it tell this HomePod from a different HomePod? How did that work? Oh, I'm very confused right now. Somehow, just by pointing my camera at the HomePod, it recognized it. It's setting up right now. It's taken a few minutes to set up, but I don't know how that worked.
Hi, I'm Siri. Welcome to HomePod. You can't tell, but I'm waving. To get my attention, say hey. Let's get started. Say hey. What can you do?
What can you do?
I can do lots of things, like turn on the lights, give you a news update, and tell you about the weather. Now you try. Say hey. Play some music.
So first up, let's get into the sound. I am gonna play Morgan's songs on here so I don't get copyright strikes. So we'll see, let's just see how good it sounds. Play Jack by Morgan Lee Band.
Now playing Jack by Morgan Lee Band.
Fast forward 30 seconds. That has way more bass than I thought it was going to. That's a very bassy little speaker. They did talk a lot about that 360 sound, and one of the things with that 360 sound is that you can actually pair two of these together to create stereo speakers. So I could have one of these in the living room, another one in the living room kind of far apart or in opposite corners, and actually create a stereo pair for that specific room. I can also hook that stereo pair up to my Apple TV, so when I'm listening to movies or watching movies, the sound is actually coming through both of the HomePod Minis. And it just so happens that I didn't buy one HomePod Mini, I bought two HomePod Minis so I could test out this whole stereo pair thing. This one's not plugged in yet though. Hold on. Okay, so I just need to get this one set up, and then I think the whole making them a stereo pair is pretty simple. I think all you do is in the Home app, you put them in the same room, and then you just tell it that you want them to be a pair. First though, we gotta wait to set this one up. There we go. All right, so on the setup, I am gonna go ahead and put this one in the living room also. Oh, check that out. So right away, it's actually asking me, living room speakers, do you want to use it as a stereo pair? So because I put this one in the living room, and now I'm also putting this one in the living room, it automatically asks me that. I'm gonna say use as stereo pair. Is this HomePod on the left or right side? This is cool. So this is my left side, so I'll say left. And now it should just know this is my, oh, that whole thing magic again. How does it do that? How does it do that? Play Young, Dumb, and Innocent by Morgan Lee Band.
Old enough to be wearing makeup, young enough to be making mistakes. Sometimes when I'm looking back, it feels like time's moving too fast. Hey, yeah, mom, look at me now, graduating, married, and having babies.
Stop. All right, so the sound is kind of amazing. Again, the singular sound when it just started, very bassy, super impressive. But when you put them together like this, wow. All right, so sound is amazing. Next up is Siri. And this is kind of where, again, this whole ecosystem thing comes in. See, I have Siri on my phone, I have Siri on my watch, I have Siri on my computer, I have Siri in my AirPods when they're in. So Siri is a big part of my world, especially with this, because this is in my pocket at all times of the day. So the fact that before I had another lady in my house as my home assistant, but then all the other times I was using Siri, was weird. For instance, I could say something like, hey, add Cheerios to my shopping list.
All right, I've added it to your shopping list.
And now Siri just added it to the shopping list that's on my phone that I share with Morgan, and that's how we go shop. So in my own house, Siri is there, that's working with the phone that's in my pocket, that's working with the computer, with my, it's the ecosystem of Apple. They got us. So while the ecosystem, it does kind of contain you to Apple only products, when you have all Apple only products, they do really work well together. The ecosystem thing isn't just a thing, it really is true. Because again, the idea that this is tied to the assistant that's always in my pocket is very compelling. The idea that these two speakers in my living room can now hook up to my Apple TV and I can watch a movie with these as my speakers, very compelling. Apple is the master of selling that ecosystem, and I think they've once again nailed the mark with these. Okay, the third thing that they've marketed is smart home accessories. The fact that you can control your smart home accessories with these. The thing is though, this is probably the category where Apple is lacking the most. This is the category where Amazon and Google really excel, because pretty much every product works with Amazon and Google. Every product that's out there, every smart home product pretty much works with Alexa, pretty much works with Nest, and a few of them work with Apple and Siri. And there's a reason for that, and it takes us straight to number 4, the thing that Apple pitches, and it's security. Both Google and Amazon have faced backlash for security concerns, for the idea that we are giving companies, big corporations, a microphone inside of our home that can listen to us at all times. Privacy seems important, but in the past we've kind of given that up, right? So we had the Alexa, and then I found out that Amazon admitted to recording and keeping every Alexa request ever. So anything that you've ever said to Alexa is on an Amazon server somewhere. They have the actual recording of you saying that. And that feels weird. And Google's even faced backlash because they had workers listening to recordings from people's homes and transcribing them into Google Assistant to help better the system. And that's their defense. Their defense is, we use these recordings to help better our system. But also with Google and Amazon, it's not just when you say hey or hey that it starts listening. It's always listening, and it can transmit some of that data to Google and Amazon before you've even wanted it to be listening. So Apple's addressing that by basically saying that it is always listening for the keyword command, hey. But anything that it listens to in the meantime before it actually hears the request, it doesn't send outside of your home. So it's listening on the device. The device is always listening for that keyword, but nothing is being transmitted to Apple until you say, hey, cancel. Nothing, never mind. And then once you have said, hey, it then takes that request, it attaches a random ID tag to it, and it sends it to Apple anonymous from your Apple ID. So every request that's coming to Apple, Siri gets that request, answers it, does whatever you're asking, but Apple never knows who it is. Apple doesn't know that you have asked certain questions. Google and Amazon do. That's creepy. I don't know, that's creepy to me. Let me know what you guys think though. Let me know, is privacy, because Apple's really pitching privacy heavy with all devices, but also with the HomePods. Really kind of laying into the idea that Google and Amazon are not respecting your privacy, and Apple will. Does that matter to you guys? Do you even care? Is that a feature why you would buy one product over another? Or are you the kind of person that's like, I don't care who's watching me, it doesn't matter? I think I used to be more in that camp, and now with tech and these big companies having so much of our data, I'm kind of moving over to the, I don't want the big companies knowing what I'm asking Siri on a daily basis. Okay, let's wrap up this video, but I think there might need to be a follow-up video in like a month, whether we've switched to these full-time or we revert back to the Google Nest. But my hypothesis is that by having these and having the ecosystem of Apple, these will actually add features to our life in the smart speaker category, right? So right now with the Google Nest, mainly we use it to listen to music and to turn on and off lights. That's about it. Every once in a while, I ask it a question, like how many liters is in a cup, or things like that, stupid questions. But beyond that, we don't tap into a ton of the features that maybe are possible. With these though, because this can hook up to the TV, it can hook up to my phone, I can just say things to her that she can do through my phone. Hey, text my wife.
What do you want to say?
You have a super cute butt, exclamation point.
Your message to Princess Lotta Giggles says you have a super cute but ready to send it?
Yes.
Okay, it's sent.
Princess Lotta Giggles is an old nickname of hers. All right, so that's it. Let me know what you guys think of these. I'm gonna go hook these up in the living room, hook them up to the Apple TV, listen to music, check them out, and yeah, I'll let you guys know kind of a longer term use case. But for now, I really do see these replacing the Google Nest. I think. I don't know. I'll let you guys know soon. And I'll see you guys soon. All right. I could have her text somebody. So right from here, I could say, hey Siri, text my wife, you are super hot, exclamation point.
Your message to Doug says you are super hot. Ready to send it?
No.
Okay, I won't send it just yet. Let me know when you're ready to continue.